Hello and welcome to the garden. It's been raining all day, but I popped out because I've been doing a lot of work in the garden and I wanted to take this opportunity to show you guys what's going on. So I'm going to quickly turn the camera around and we're going to take a look at everything before the rain comes back. Okay, I'm starting here on the seed table. I've just put in some fava beans, which you can see here. I don't think that's growing yet. I think I need to cover that up with soil. But I have a little borage here coming up. And next to it, the nasturtiums haven't started coming up yet. In this back tray, I have some onion. And this is some sorghum that has popped up. But in that tray I have some onion. Here, right here in this first area, this is garlic. I just got it in, so it's not showing any signs of growth yet, but I did tug on it and there are roots forming. Behind that I have quite a bit of onion that I replanted. Hopefully everything's kind of wet right now, but hopefully it's doing pretty good. This whole tray is nasturtiums, and most of them have come up and they're showing just two leaves, but they all did come up, so that's a good thing. Now, like I said, this is my first year trying to grow my own onion. So here, well, my own bulb onion. Here I have some red onion, and here, these rows here are Texas onion. Back in that tray and those two pots are torpedo onion, the shallots. I really like those, so I hope I'm successful at growing them. And then in this tray, this is just some lettuce, mainly bok choy, but there's some other lettuce in there. I need to get it in the ground because it's starting to look really wimpish. Down in this styrofoam tray is some carrots, and they are growing very slow, so I think the compost that I put in here might was still a little warm, but we'll see if they come along. But they're not dying, they're just growing very slow. Okay, here inside of the little grow tunnel, I had some very small garlic, and so I put them in this tray. They were in this hanging basket. They probably will grow, but they probably won't get too big. They're old, and so I did not want them to lose their last big hurrah and dry out on the kitchen cabinet. So hopefully they'll grow. In these trays, this is a hodgepodge of things, but I have, let's see, back here all of this is Brussels sprouts, and they are starting to get some height to them. This is rutabaga, this big one. No, I'm sorry. That's cantaloupe. Yeah, that's cantaloupe. Here is rutabaga and Brussels sprouts in this first part of the tray. They look so much alike, but they are growing. Then starting here, this is Swiss chard. As I said, the rain just stopped, and so everything is very soggy. And the romaine lettuce is not coming up. This is not romaine lettuce, so my seeds may have been too old on that. Then down here I have a few more cells of Swiss chard. I have a lot of Swiss chard. We love Swiss chard. And back there is Swiss chard, and most of that didn't come up either. This should be Russian kale, red Russian kale. And there's a few little ones, but I see what's going on. I have a slug, a snail, and he's just munching away, so I got to get rid of him off camera. Oh. And then here I have some more onion. That's red buncheon onion. So hopefully all of my onions will do well this year. It will be great anyway. It's my first time trying to grow so much. In these trays I have cabbage, and they're not looking too good. In these trays, this is cabbage, but it's not looking too good. Something's munching on it, so I need to dig around up there and figure out what's going on. But if we move down a little further, in these trays, this is all pansies that have just sprouted. This celery did not come up, and it should have by now because the other celery has. But these are Brussels sprouts in these two trays, and then all of that going back, that's my turnip starting to come up. And then on the side of that, what is that? That's more red kale in these back here, and they're coming up pretty good. Then here's some red mustard. I've never tried that before, so we'll see how that tastes. But they are all coming up. In this next section, this is some more mustard. And this is some more rutabaga. And everything is coming up really well. And one more tray of mustard. So starting tomorrow, if the rain lets up, I'll start getting some of these into some garden beds. And then here in this container is my celery. It's very small, but it did come up, so that will give me a lot of celery if I take my time and pick them out really good. If I take my time and get them out of there, I'll have more celery than I can use. And then I have one little green onion in this pot. So my green onion seeds are old. I collected them over, I think, 2 years ago, and I think it's just time for me to get some new seeds of the green onion. And then I have one small little zinnia right there. My lovage must have been bad, because I've been trying to grow lovage and I never get anything. For over a year now I've been trying to sprout some lovage, but I'm not going to stop trying. I'm going to keep trying. And our pup is still here. He won't let me touch him yet, but I bought him a bed, a house, and he lives on the back porch, and he eats all his meals on the back porch. And he follows me around, so I'm assuming in the next couple of weeks he will let me touch him and I can get him into a more secure location, because right now he's running loose, and that kind of bugs me. I just pray over him that he doesn't get hit by a car, because he's a cute little thing. Now we're in the back garden. Under this cloth here, I put my first, I think I have kale and cabbage, and my first brassicas are in there, and they're doing okay. They're small, but they are growing. But I'm not going to lift that up, and right now they're too small for you to see on the camera. My eggplants are still looking pretty good and giving me an eggplant here and there. I think right now it has 3 on it. These pepper plants are starting, with the cooler weather, they are starting to put on peppers again. So if winter doesn't roll in too fast, we might get another flush of peppers. Those are just some green shallots, some green onions, and they're looking really good. These red mustards are trying to bounce back. They're looking fairly well. I need to come back here and fill in all these empty spots, but what is here is starting to make what is here is starting to rebound and starting to look fairly good again as the weather gets cooler. I still haven't cut these trees. This is a pepper plant, a chipling pepper plant, and a Rose of Sharon, and I need to cut them back because they're crawling all over each other, but they are healthy. Here inside the fruit cage, you know, as I said before, I don't have much fruit in here yet, but I do have these Navajo blackberries, and they're really looking good. They're really growing. And in those pots, I'm trying to make cuttings I'm trying to see if I can get it to root so that I can make this whole wall here full of those Navajos. And then most of my strawberries did not make the transplant from the other garden, but these few did, and so I will overwinter them out here, and I'll just have to order some more, so when spring comes, this whole area in front of the blackberries will be strawberries. I have a little patch of lettuce and some little mustard greens trying to come up. And then right there in the corner, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Those are some more carrots that are starting to come up. And under this wire, I planted some potatoes, and I noticed today, if we zoom you in there, they are starting to come up. That's one, and I thought I saw one somewhere else, but that's one. And that's one. So the potatoes are trying to come up, and then right there we have another type of blackberry. It's not doing as well as the Navajo, but I right now I can't remember the name of them. So once I find the name of them, hopefully I'll be able to find it and put it on the screen. And then back here, all of that is buckwheat that I just put in that new bed, and I'm hoping to cut it back and feed it to the chickens and let it grow one more time, and then feed it to the chickens. And then the third growing, I will just put a tarp over it and let it settle in. Behind that under that white tarp, that's a bed that I just made yesterday. And little puppy is everywhere. He's getting into everything. He's messing with everything. But I am enjoying having him in the yard. Right behind there where you see all of that, I don't know what kind of weed that is, but I just stacked that there. I'm going to turn that bed all the way across into a hugelkultur bed. I'm just going to take clippings of everything from the garden and bury them, and hopefully I'll be successful. I've never made a true hugelkultur bed, and so we'll see how it turns out. This is the last little bit of okra that I have, and it's really not looking good anymore. So there's a few okra on it. Something came and ate the tops off of it, so When I get those few pieces off, probably tomorrow, I'll pull this okra out. And I'm going to do the same with those green beans there. They're starting to get discolored. They are still putting on beans, but it's time to put something else in this bed. I'm not sure what yet, but it's time to amend it. So that'll probably happen in the next day or two. On this side, I still have some red mustard and a few pepper plants. I just picked peppers off of them yesterday, I believe. It was only 3, but I give thanks for it. And so it's flowering. They're still flowering. Let's see, right there and right there. So we probably will get some more peppers before it gets too cold. And then this wall of trees here, I started cutting them back, and I'm going to cut back as far as I can. And then hopefully I can afford to get someone to come and cut these taller trees down in winter. But right now I'm just working on what I can do. And so I think I can cut all the way back to the tree trunk and pretty up that sago, but that's not a sago palm, that palm tree, because I want it to stay there. And then here at this trellis, I planted some sweet peas down at the bottom, but the green beans that's still growing up are still producing, so I didn't tear them out. I'm just going to let the sweet peas take over, and by that time the green beans will probably be finished. Down around this semicircle, all of this will be mustard greens. They're very small and they're growing very slow. I think that compost I bought was hotter than I expected, but that doesn't matter. By the spring it'll be perfect. Here are some more pepper plants, and they're doing pretty good. They're giving peppers every now and then, and now, like I said before, it's getting cooler, so they're all putting on flowers. Okay, so we're back here by the orange tree. I've gotten all of the amended soil put down around the tree. Here in these 3 pots, I found 3 papaya plants. I found 3 papaya trees that were stunted or something. I don't know why they're not growing, but I didn't want to just get rid of them. So I put them in some pots with some fresh soil and, compost. And hopefully they'll perk up and I'll be able to overwinter them and get them started, get them back outside for spring. Here, right above that, is my 2 pepper trees. They are starting to look better now that the weather is starting to get a little cooler. You know, we're here in Southeast Texas, so it's probably not as cool as it is in a lot of other places, but it is cooler. It is cooler. You don't feel like you have to, like you're gonna explode into fury of sweating when you come out anymore. Okay, right where that stick is, I have two potatoes that chitted, and I don't know, it may be too late in the season for them to come up, but I'm gonna give them a try. I have some more potatoes that's in buckets, so if winter rolls in too fast, I'll bring them indoors and hopefully they'll continue to grow on. But these, I wanted to just give them a try, and I put that stick there so that I would remember that I had planted potatoes there. And here is a set of the Egyptian spinach. It's finally here. In my last video where I talked about it, I said I wasn't going to cut it anymore, and so it's starting to put on pods and flower. I need to do something with this pot. I moved it and just sat it here, but I think I'm gonna put maybe some garlic or something in it. I have to give it some more thought. And this is where the big lemongrass was. I dug up most of it. I put 4 in pots to bring indoors during the winter. And I put this one back. I trimmed it, and I just did that a couple hours ago. And hopefully it'll resprout. And if we don't have a rough winter, a very harsh winter, it should grow and stay green. But if we have a harsh winter like we have the last 2 years, it'll die all the way back. And that's why I took some and put in pots, so that if it's really harsh, I'll have some that's ready to go in case what's out here dies. Because every now and then when we get a real cold winter, my lemongrass does die, but it's not often. Now here's the rest of the lemongrass that I dug up. I need to find other places to put it in the yard. I trimmed it all. I need to trim the roots and find somewhere around the border of the garden to put it. And I'll mulch everything really well, and hopefully most of them will survive. And then I have this basil, and I'm going to collect seeds from it this year, because I have some seed from a couple of years ago, but I just want to make sure I have some fresh seeds, so I'm letting this plant go to seed fully. This bed is just a hodgepodge of different plants. That middle part, all of this is different types of radishes. Those are green beans against the fence there. No, I'm sorry, those are lima beans against the fence. But I see I need to get in here tomorrow, because I have leaf miner that has started. Well, that's what it looks like. I don't know if that's what it is, but something's starting to munch.